Hey everyone, it's Saturday, January 23rd, 2021. Welcome to episode 50, the big 5-0 of the Ginger and the Beard podcast. I'm AJ, aka The Ginger.
And I'm Reese, aka The Beard.
And on this week's show, we're hanging out with our good friend Clifton Jack, who you'll hear more from in a minute, drinking and reviewing a double dry hopped IPA and a non-alcoholic amber ale, and talking about Eminem's strong words for Dana White.
Oh yeah, we'll also be talking about SpaceX's first rideshare rocket launch, VR escape rooms in shipping containers, and the first major bug patch for Cyberpunk 2077.
But before we get started, I want to remind you to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and come interact with us on Instagram or Twitter.
Yes, please do, and make sure to check out the YouTube chapters or the timestamps in the description if you'd like to skip around to your favorite topics. As usual, we have a lot to cover, but before we dive in, welcome to the show, Clifton. How's it going, man?
It's going wonderful. I'm super glad to be part of you guys' big 5-0.
Woo!
Definitely been listening since the beginning on old Spotify. So
Nice.
I'm pretty stoked to be here, and hopefully I have something interesting to add to the conversation. But just thrilled for you guys to bring me along.
Yeah, man.
Happy to have you.
We're glad to have you. And also, for anybody watching the YouTube video, I don't know what I was doing with my hands there when I was trying to show 5-0. It was like 5 and then like a C. I don't know what that was about. So anyways,
5C.
Disregard. Yeah.
Huh.
I think we've definitely done more than 50 episodes. It's probably like closer to 60. Maybe even over 60 if you count like all the weigh-ins and stuff that we didn't number.
And
But,
the interviews that we didn't number, right? Because we were doing that too, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe the first couple of interviews we didn't actually count as numbered episodes, but
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude. I can't believe we've almost been doing this for a year now. In like a month, we will have been a year. So bananas.
Been an interesting road, man. I tell you that.
Yes,
Learned
yes,
a lot.
Definitely. Now we got some new branding to reflect that. Super cool, man. But
Yeah.
Reese, how was your week, man?
It was good, man. It was good. What did I do this week? Dude, I bought these sweet potatoes from the farmer's market. Bro, listen.
Were we just talking before the show about how old we are?
That was the highlight of my week. These sweet potatoes were so good, dude. I had like I had 4 sweet potatoes on 4 different nights, and I went back and I bought more. I got 5 more sweet potatoes. How about you? How was your week?
Oh man, well, I wish I could say my week was as exciting as that, but I didn't get any sweet potatoes, but I did get a new sweet tattoo.
Nice.
Got some fresh ink there.
Bling
It's
bling.
been a long time since I got a new tattoo, but if you guys are listening in your car, it's some skulls at the lower end of my right forearm, along with some tiger lilies. I know it seems like a weird combination, but tiger lilies are Shayna's favorite flower, so I've always said I wanted to get those tattooed on me. And then I've been wanting some skulls recently, just because I think they're badass. Number one, but yeah, so pretty cool, man. That was fun. Did that on Monday on the day off, and Shayna got a tattoo as well on her arm. So that's always a lot of fun. But
whoever did your art is awesome. Those lines are so bold and
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
it
it looks nice, man.
This is if anybody's local to Hampton Roads, this is Mike from Saltwater Tattoo. Actually, all of the tattoos I've gotten since living in Virginia Beach have been from Saltwater. I've got one from Mike, one from Tony, and one from Joey. So all the guys there, super friendly, super cool guys, very inviting shop. So I would definitely recommend checking them out. But yeah, the only downside to my week was that Kai, the 4-year-old, decided at one day we were having him help us load the washing machine earlier this week, and so he's picking up these clothes, and like a couple hours go by, the washing machine's running, and we start looking for the TV remote to our brand new smart TV, right? We're like, I can't find this thing anywhere. And like, Kai, have you seen the remote? Eventually he's like, I put it in the washing machine.
oh,
I was like,
Just admitted.
I was like, oh dude, please tell me that's not true. And then sure enough, we like dig around through it, and we couldn't find it. So we're like, well, we just have to let the washing machine finish. And so we did, and checked it and found the remote. And after a few days, it come back to life, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
Do the old in a bag of rice trick?
Yeah, I put it in the bag of rice for a couple days, and the only quirk with it now is that the microphone function doesn't work, so you can't say turn to channel whatever anymore. And the little light indicator at the top is blinking rapidly like all the time for some reason. So like, hey, it's the buttons. Other buttons work. So anyways,
it's working.
Yeah, it's working. Can you get a replacement?
You can. It's like $40. I'm sure I'll end up buying it, but I can use my phone as a remote and that thing. So like, I feel like kind of bases are covered, and I use my Google Home. You know, it's fancy stuff.
Got some workarounds. That's what's up.
Man. What about you, Clifton? How was your week, man?
It was good. We have been quarantined because the children were exposed to the old coronavirus.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So I think yesterday was our last day, or the day after the last day. So we finally got out of the house and got the kids with their friends and got to see the neighbors.
Nice.
To go to the grocery store. And it has been rough with, 2 adults and 2 kids locked in the house for 14 days. It was a struggle, but we did it. We made it.
You survived.
Freedom.
So nobody actually caught it. You just were the kids were exposed.
Yeah, they their father's partner tested positive for it, and they had been with them the night before they got their positive test. So we all had to quarantine.
Jeez.
Well, better safe than sorry, I guess. But glad you guys are all healthy.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Did you guys see that Dave Chappelle got COVID?
No, don't say that.
I think I did see that actually.
It just took Larry King from us, not Dave Chappelle too.
I know. Yeah, I heard that today too. Jeez. Yeah. So Dave Chappelle was at this comedy venue with Joe Rogan and Elon Musk and Elon Musk's girlfriend. What's her name again? I can't remember. Grimes. Yeah, Grimes. And then he tested positive for it today. So he was with Joe Rogan yesterday, and you know how crazy Joe Rogan is about all this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
Well, you might not know it, but Dave Chappelle is like, he's stacked, dude. He's like, he's in shape. Yeah. So like, I don't know how well he takes care of his health and all that stuff beyond just lifting weights or whatever, but hopefully he's able to just fight it off, no problem.
Yeah, I'm guessing he'll be okay.
Yeah.
But no Joe Rogan podcast for a couple weeks.
Joe Rogan's probably like, actually, he's put out a couple of really good episodes, but it could be stuff that he recorded a while ago. But anyways, so that's interesting, man. Well, hopefully he recovers. But I think all of us are about ready to celebrate the end of our weeks with a little bit of beer action. What do you guys think? Should we move into our
BWRUN beer run?
Watch You Drinkin' segment?
Let's do it. What are you drinking?
All right, man. Well, I'm excited. I've got another local beer. Last week, I had a farmhouse beer on. You guys know that's pretty typical. But I went out to Veil Brewing Company, Clifton. I know you live here in Virginia Beach, or in Hampton Roads. Have you been to the Veil?
Oh yes, many times.
Yeah, dude, Reese. Whenever you guys make it back into visit, we're definitely going to go to the Veil. I don't think they were here last time when you guys visited because they're relatively new in this location. They've got a couple of Richmond locations though.
It's my first time hearing you speak of them, so yeah.
Yeah, they have such good beer and so many options on draft at the actual location. But I picked up their like flagship sort of IPA. It's called Master Shredder, which is just an awesome name.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it definitely gives the TMNT vibes, but I'm a little confused by the artwork, to be honest with you. So Shredder, obviously, it's a guy playing guitar, right? Shredding. Yeah. That makes sense. But looking closely at the face, it looks like a rat face. If you guys can make that out. I'm not sure if you can.
Okay.
Which is
my brain is confused.
Yeah, brain's
that
confused.
was Master Splinter.
Exactly.
Was the rat.
Exactly. So I don't know if the person who designed this or didn't know that, or maybe it's just not supposed to look like a rat face. Maybe it's just supposed to be a human face. But anyways, I don't really care what the can looks like as much as I do what it tastes like. So let's go ahead and give this a crack here. Oh no, that was a little bit of a sprinkle there. Went on the keys.
No.
Not another keyboard incident.
Not again.
There's just a couple droplets. All right, here we go.
So,
this is like I said, it's an IPA. It's a double dry hopped IPA. I think the only hops they spoke of in the description were mosaic hops, but I don't know if that's. I'm sure it's probably blended with something else. I'm sure there's probably some. Why can't I think of the word I'm looking for?
More hops?
flavoring hops or
Yeah,
what do you
flavoring
say?
hops.
I don't
know,
remember.
Finishing hops, maybe something like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
There's a
can't
word
remember.
for it, and I can't think of it right now. But regardless, Mosaic hops. So Mosaic's one of my favorite hops. And I did some research actually just for fun facts. I like some fun facts. This was the process of creating the Mosaic hop started in 2001. It took 10 years of selecting the best plants before the brewers ever were able to even have a sneak peek of it. So this has been around for a little while. Just smelling it, one of the things I love about it is it's not overpoweringly citrusy, the Mosaic hop. It's more so, I would describe it as like tropical. They say it's got a hint of cantaloupe, melon, orange, and blueberry. The only thing I don't really catch the blueberry so much, but definitely the melons, the cantaloupes pull through quite a bit for me. Let's go ahead and give it a try.
Nice. It's just good to hear that you're smelling again.
That was a rough period, man.
I bet.
That's really good. Stark contrast to the two beers I've had in the last couple of episodes, the stouts and the porters. Good to get back to some of that punchy hops, but as you would expect, double dry hop. So essentially dry hopping, for those out there that don't know what that means, is after the beer has gone through the boiling process and all that, and it's now fermenting, that's when they stick another handful or however much, hops into the fermenting wort.
So like a week after or something like that, they'll throw it in there?
Yeah, well, so what I read is it's actually closer to the time that they go to bottle it or can it, they'll add some more in. So this one being double dry hopped, I would assume that maybe once it's entering that fermentation stage, they add some hops into it, and then probably closer to the time of bottling it, they'd probably add some more in. So obviously the hops are pulling through pretty strong on this, but I definitely pick up on that cantaloupe and melon, like I said, on the taste as well as the aroma. Nice color. I mean, what you would expect, I guess, from an IPA. Nice golden color there. Not quite completely opaque, but the head's pretty nice too. A little bit foamier, kind of that soapier texture.
Looks like it's sticking too. It's like
the
foam hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah. It's a little bit different from those stouts and stuff, like I said, where they've got like that espresso color head and a little bit creamier. This is kind of that lacier sort of texture, but tastes really good. Let's give it another try. Yeah, I mean, really smooth, man. I just love that Mosaic hop flavor. And I've missed that lingering bitter taste in my mouth after the sips. I appreciate that so much now that I'm into the IPAs, but overall, super good beer. I'm glad I picked that up. And if you guys are in Hampton Roads, like I said, make sure you go swing by the Veil. Their facility's awesome, man. It's like 3 stories high. They serve food. They've got a ton of beer on tap. An outdoor space, so it's like all black on the outside, black on the inside. It's like super like mysterious sort of feeling, but also kid friendly. There's always kids and families in there, so nice place.
I'm excited to visit. That'll be good.
Yeah, man. So what do you got this week, Reese?
Well, we got some more NA beer because we're still doing dry January, and last week we had a Bravus. This week we have another Bravus. Last week was the oatmeal stout. Now we're going to be trying the amber ale.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, their website says, our amber ale features toasty, biscuity, and caramel notes balanced with earthy and citrus hop aromas. Capped by a very clean bitterness, it's incredibly versatile with food, but also enjoyable on its own. So we're going to enjoy this sucker on its own. You can already see it's an amber type of color, like a very
it's very amber.
Yeah, you could say it's like a deep amber there. I feel like I'm looking at a prehistoric mosquito right now. All I can see is the ginger's face through my beer glass.
Oh yeah, do I look distorted and like really cool?
Yeah, you look really cool. We'll go with
Thanks,
that.
man.
Yeah. So the head's not much head there. The head is certainly not very uniform. I would say it is far from uniform, and it's dissipating fairly quickly.
She gone.
Yeah, he gone. Looks like we got like a medium. I don't know. I would say this looks like it's a light to medium bodied. Anyway, let's go ahead and smell it. Huh.
I can tell
Okay.
how excited you are to drink this NA beer. Let's go ahead and smell it.
When I have like really good beer just like right down in my fridge right now, and I'm like sitting here drinking this. By the way, guys, this is not completely NA. It says NA from like a legal standpoint, I guess, but it's actually 0.5%. So maybe after I drink this, I'll be buzzed. Who knows?
You might be, man.
Yeah. So the smell is mainly, I'm like really just getting malt out of this. I read some other reviews and they had a lot more like in-depth smells, but I'm like not getting anything else. It almost it's just like hops. Like, I'm sorry, it's just malt and like not really good malt. I'm not very excited about this, AJ. I'm sorry.
Tell, dude.
A
That's
little bit
okay.
of hops. I'm smelling a little bit of hops, but it's like
I'm just
get through
laughing
this.
because
Let's
like
just
the last 2 weeks you just have not been happy.
not been happy. All right. Let's see what it tastes like at least. It's not that bad actually.
Your description last week of the Bravus wasn't that bad.
When I say not that bad, that doesn't mean it's good. It's just not
It's not
that
awful.
bad. It's not that bad, you know.
Oh gosh,
Tolerable.
I'm dying.
Yeah, it's a little flat, a little bland, I guess you could say. I actually am getting like a little bit of caramel, just a little bit of hoppiness. Who knows what that is? But yeah, overall, I would say for an NA beer, not bad. I've had worse, so I can deal with this. Yeah, very light carbonation. I would say light bodied, medium bodied. Hey man,
Yeah.
only got one more week.
You got a few days left, and you can crack into that pastry porter horse from New Realm.
Oh, dude, I'm actually taking it to the ruck that I'm going to, the big ruck,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm gonna crack it open with a couple other people at the end. I'm gonna hand them out.
nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
What about you, Clifton? What are you drinking, man?
So anyone who knows me or knows about me knows that if I'm not at a brewery or I'm not out at dinner, I'm always drinking PBR. But I decided to mix it up for a little while, and I found out that they had a hard coffee
Oh,
Pabst Blue Ribbon. I think we were talking earlier. I think I misspoke when I said it was 6%. It's actually only 5%.
okay.
But it is delicious. Let's see if I got a can here. A beautiful little can. It comes in an
Nice.
11 ounce can. It's only 4 to a pack. So, and it's hard to find. Like down here in North Carolina, like I haven't seen it except for one place. We just got lucky. When they first released it last year, I had it on pre-order on their website, and then I just never got any. It never
Nice.
shipped.
What?
Never got in touch with anybody. Never got any. So we just randomly found it in the store. And we found 2 packs so far, and it is delicious.
Man, that
It's,
sounds nice.
I feel like a lot of like coffee stouts for me are a little too heavy, and then most other coffee variants, if it's like a true attempt at like a coffee beer, are like almost like too Kahlua-y tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is just like it just tastes like coffee with
Nice.
a little bitter aftertaste. It's really, really, really smooth and really delicious, and I've been drinking them nonstop. And I don't want to run out, so I need to slow my roll a little bit then I'll be just drinking straight PBR again.
You better
Nice.
go to your like local convenience store and talk to them and say, listen, I just order it for me.
Just
Talk
for
to-
me.
Talk to the distributor. Get me about 7 cases of this in every week.
And I'll be back. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna be super bummed when I'm out, but
is it like, how would you equate it? Because I'm actually quite curious about this. Like, what if you were to compare it to like a cold Starbucks, like the Starbucks canned, drinks.
right.
Is it like similar consistency?
It's-
And
if you've had like the double shot or the triple shots,
Yeah.
if you had those,
Yeah.
dude, it's like spot on with those.
wow,
Oh.
okay,
There's like a little twinge of obviously you can taste the alcohol kind of at the end.
yeah,
It doesn't really taste like those like milky frappuccino ones that you can get, but like the double shots, yeah, it tastes, just like that.
nice.
Yeah.
So are they using actual coffee? It's like a coffee with beer.
Yeah. So according to their website, it is. It's, I guess, according to them, it's a coffee seltzer.
Really?
I guess technically the way that they're distributing them or making them. So yeah, it says hard coffee seltzer, but it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm intrigued. I must try this.
I'll let them keep their magic and just keep producing this delicious drink.
Nice.
That sounds really good, man. I'm just trying to sit here like thinking about like what is their, like anticipated hour of consumption with this beverage? It's like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's like, it tastes like coffee. I feel like I should drink this on the way to work in the morning.
It's your working man's beer.
Yeah. I know. Any other week, I'd have probably had some fancy Wasserman beer from Virginia Beach for you guys. But lately, I've just been crushing these bad boys.
You are definitely the Wasserman man.
Dude,
I'd love to have them on the show.
Oh my gosh, that would be the best move. That place is amazing.
Yeah. Hey, if you know the owners, man, get us a connection.
I have one of them on Instagram. Maybe I'll send her a message.
Oh yeah, actually, somebody that worked there reached out a while ago. I think she's a bartender and reached out and was like trying to hook it up. And so I need to follow up. But anyways, that's awesome, dude. I want to try one of those bad boys.
Yeah, if you get your hands on some, let me know. I need to go up there and get some.
Oh yeah, I can buy some for you and like.
Oh yeah, we'll do a sketchy like parking lot deal.
Smuggle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, man. Well, we got some exciting stuff to talk about in the world of UFC, I believe. So you want to move into that segment?
Let's do it. All right, so the time's come.
The time is now for UFC 257. It's today.
Today,
so for you
Junior?
folks out there listening right now, you know the outcomes of the fights. But here we are, somehow avoiding watching the stream while recording a podcast. But after this is over, we'll definitely be catching up on the main event. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, long awaited, much anticipated. It's finally here. I'm pretty excited. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I did not go to a fight party tonight to hang out with you guys, so.
Yes, ditto, yeah.
Reese, who are you picking, man?
I'm taking Conor, dude. I'm taking Dan, and I'm taking Conor. Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Conor win the first bout that they had?
Yeah, in 90 seconds.
Within the first round, I was about to say, okay, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Smoked him, starched him.
6 years ago. Yeah, Dustin's definitely come a long way since then. And I would just say, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because it has, and when you guys are listening to this is in the past, so it doesn't really matter. But, I just want to say that I've been watching some of the press coverage and stuff like that from Yas Island, and the respectfulness from Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, like the camaraderie and like, Conor held true to his words how many ever months ago when he said he was going to donate to Dustin's what's it called, the Good Fight Foundation.
Yeah,
right. So he's donating $500,000 to that charity, and they both have products. Like Dustin Poirier just came out with a hot sauce. Conor obviously has his proper 12 whiskey. And so they're talking about trading products. They're like taking photos together, and they're talking so respectfully about one another. And
which I feel is like super off color for Conor McGregor to do before a fight. Like he's not usually that guy. So I wonder what Dustin did to deserve that. I don't know.
They're just probably just the fact that they fought before and there was no bad blood. Dustin's an all-around good guy. Yeah. I mean, I was hoping to see some bottles being thrown, chairs being thrown,
Yeah, maybe we're seeing a new Conor here. Maybe this is his. I mean, he doesn't need to do that anymore. Like the shit talking in UFC is to get you the camera time. That's what it's for.
True.
Like he doesn't need that anymore. But I think it is in his personality. But yeah, without spending too much time on it, I agree with you, Reese, 100%. I definitely take Conor. I hope it's a good fight. I hope it's at least a few rounds, but my gut feeling tells me he's going to steamroll Dustin in the first round, and he's just going to overwhelm him and be too aggressive.
Yeah. Playing devil's advocate, though, they're at a higher weight now. Dustin has more, going on. He didn't have to cut as much. He's got more experience. Maybe Conor's got a little bit of ring rust, So you never know.
Yeah, fair point, man. And you and I were just talking before the show, Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler, his first fight in the UFC, coming out of his long reign as lightweight champion in Bellator. I'm excited. I know you guys are probably excited just to see. I'm excited to see how it translates from Bellator to UFC. He's had all these big fights in Bellator. He's beaten and also lost to Eddie Alvarez back in the day. But to stick him in there with Dan Hooker, that's quite the test for sure. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Me too. I won't be surprised if Dan wins.
I won't either. That's a tough dude, man. He is so tough. It's insane.
Yeah.
But something interesting happened earlier this week that I saw some headlines for. I'm not sure if you guys saw this as well, but Ottman, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, so forgive me. Ottman Azaitar?
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough, right? Was released from the UFC after sneaking a guest into the W Hotel in Abu Dhabi on Fight Island. So obviously tons of COVID protocols happening, trying to keep people safe and fighters safe and whoever's there with them safe, their teams. This dude who's relatively new in the UFC, I think he's only got a few fights in the UFC, but he's undefeated in his professional fighting career with 10 knockouts and 2 submissions in like a total of 13 fights, I believe. He was scheduled to fight Matt Frivola tonight at UFC 257. Matt's now fighting somebody else whose opponent dropped out for medical reasons, I believe. But apparently I was reading this article. This dude that Ottman snuck into the hotel was carrying a bag of some sort. I don't know what was in the bag. They haven't disclosed that yet.
What's in the bag?
We should definitely speculate on that because I'm sure we could have some fun there.
Clifton,
but he had to shimmy across balconies, multiple balconies, to get
with
into
a bag.
With a bag.
Yeah.
To get into Ottman's room in the hotel, and then subsequently was found out by like security.
How are they not going to tell us what's in the bag? Like,
yeah, I feel like if it was, they get tested for doping way too often.
Yeah.
So I feel like it wouldn't be anything related to that. But then why would you sneak? I don't know.
It had to have been like a Subway sandwich, right?
Right, or like something. Yeah, or like something lame. Like, I really want this flavor of Gatorade.
They don't have my favorite flavor.
Flavor of Gatorade.
I can't get it.
I just want a McDonald's Big Mac. That's it. Help me out.
And it's not even a guy. He doesn't even know the guy. It's just like some Uber Eats driver.
Yeah, so I was about to say the DoorDash gets the biggest tip of his life.
Ever. Oh, man.
Can you imagine being like the other fighters in the hotel? You're just chilling in your room and you see some random dude with a giant duffel bag shimmying across your balcony. Like, what do you do? Like, that's the worst person's room to sneak past.
Yeah.
He just sneaks past Dana's room. It's like, oh shit, run.
Dana chokes him out.
Yeah.
Man,
that's crazy. Well, I hope that there was something worthwhile in that bag. I hope it was something more than McDonald's or Subway.
I hope it was nothing malicious though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet it was. I bet it was either drugs or it was probably drugs, and
or a really small, light, exotic
animal dancer. Oh my gosh!
I've heard of popping out of a cake, but popping out of a duffel bag, I guess, is pretty.
I was trying not to say prostitute. Maybe it was a prostitute. But anyways.
It's not as exciting when they just jump out of the bag. It's.
Being covered in icing is different than smelling like sweaty gym socks.
Yeah.
I guess when you're in Yas Island, you get what you get. So it comes out smelling like dirty, sweaty gym socks. So that's probably why he has 10 KOs and 2 submissions. He was probably doping and had to get his fix.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess maybe more will come. More to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, but really, it probably was just a sandwich. He was hungry. So going back to the fight tonight, Eminem gave Dana White a piece of his mind. I don't know if you saw this.
Dude, I did see that.
Kind of ridiculous. But 2 days ago, Eminem and White were together on ESPN's SportsCenter. And in a 9-second clip that was shown, Eminem said something to Dana. This is what it was. I think that people like you give people like me the fuel that they need to succeed in the first place. I think that the best part about your opinion is that it doesn't matter, and if every fighter that you had listened to your opinion when you doubted them, you wouldn't have a fucking league. So that's a bit of a shocker, right? But I've got more news. But before I tell you the rest, what do you think about that?
To me, it was out of left field when I saw the clip on Reddit the other day because I didn't know that they had beef or don't understand where that came from. God, and it didn't seem like Dana came at him at all.
Yeah.
I have zero context with this. I need to watch this clip, but first of all, I'm thinking, what the hell is Eminem doing on SportsCenter?
Good point.
Number two, in what context do Eminem and Dana White coexist? And number three is Dana White would choke the absolute shit out of Eminem.
Dude,
in a second.
Dana White's pretty jacked, man.
He'd be vomited up mom's spaghetti all night.
Oh yeah, he would be. Right before and during that.
His knees would definitely be weak after that.
Absolutely.
But I like what AJ was saying. Like, in what world do you put Dana White and Eminem on the same panel? Like, what were they discussing?
It would have to be the entertainment world. They're both in the world of entertainment, I guess you could say. Yeah. If you consider UFC entertainment in its primal form, it would be considered entertainment, right? Back in the gladiator days, right? It was that was the means of entertainment. So, but okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I wonder. Without the context, it's kind of hard. But based on what this statement is saying, with if every fighter you had listened to your opinion when you doubted them, you wouldn't have a fucking league. I mean, does that mean Dana White talks down to his fighters and tells them that they're not worth it or something? Like, what does this mean? I'm curious what that. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy around fighter pay and stuff like that in the UFC, but I'm not sure how this fits into the picture.
Yeah, well, okay, well, here we go. I mean, it was all bullshit, first off, and it was staged, right? So,
oh, man.
Yeah, so basically it's just a part of Eminem's latest music video, For Hire, which, again, they come together in the entertainment space. This music video dropped Saturday on YouTube today, and the song has been used, last Saturday, and the song has been used to hype the highly anticipated return of Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier today. So basically, it was just another way for them to promote.
Good on both of them, I guess, because they got me.
It's all over fucking crazy, though. That
and we're talking about it.
Yeah. And everybody was talking about it. Of course, like, if you have Eminem starting beef with anyone, right? Anytime there's beef coming from Eminem's, skillet, then it's gonna hit major news. I was thinking on my toes there. Yeah, thanks.
I think it would have only been better than if like Machine Gun Kelly showed up. And they started beefing and like put the two of them in the octagon.
Oh my gosh!
Eminem would have been like, "Here, go talk to my junior varsity," and then Eminem, and then MGK comes out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
MGK, like, getting a little bit off topic. MGK lost a lot of clout when they did their thing
with the Rap Devil song, which oddly enough, MGK's like clapback with the Rap Devil, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
I really liked. I liked that song a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people hated on him for that.
Well, a lot of people say that it scared him out of rap, and now he's doing that whole punk rock thing that he's got going on.
So weird.
No shit.
Hey, yeah. I mean, it's good music, but it is really weird.
Yeah, the song came on, and Shayna was like, "Hey, this is Machine Gun Kelly." She's like, "Who's he again?" I was like, "Oh, he's like a rapper." And played a song, and I was like, "This who? What is this? This is not Machine Gun Kelly." What?
It's not bad. It's just not him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you see he's dating oh god, what's her name? What's the girl from the original Transformers movie, like the first one?
Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox. It's like,
Nice.
holy
Yeah.
shit, stepping up.
She's robbing the cradle, I guess. He seems
Is
pretty
she?
young. I think he's pretty
Oh,
young,
really?
but I don't know for sure. But
Huh.
yeah, so he's from Ohio, Reese.
Yes, he
And,
is. Cleveland, the land.
Stipe
And
walks out.
Stipe.
Yeah, Stipe
Yes.
walks out to his music,
Absolutely, dude.
which is
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
man.
anyways,
I've heard about
So-
MGK for a long time now.
Megan Fox is 34 and Machine Gun Kelly is 30. I had to look it up.
That's not too bad.
nah, it's not that bad. I was thinking
You
she was
know.
older than that, but
You know, he was going into junior high when she was going into college. It's all good.
I doubt she went. She probably didn't go to college.
You're probably right about that.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Anyways, yeah, that's crazy, man. I need to listen to this song. I actually I've been following obviously this, this fight, and maybe they're playing this song in commercials. And I'm just not paying attention to the song, so I need to go listen to this song and see what it's all about.
Yeah,
But,
honestly, I've been oblivious to it as well. So maybe that's why they had this little thing, because they were like, hey, everybody's picking up on this Eminem song.
Have him beef it out with Dana White on live television, please.
Yeah, here, let's get this thing going. Come on. Talk shit to each other.
Did you guys see that Dr. Dre was had an aneurysm?
I did.
what?
Yeah, this is
No?
a week or two
No,
ago.
I thought it was Jay-Z that had it.
No.
Even
it was-
worse!
No. It was
It was
definitely
Dre?
Dr. Dre. It was
It
Dr.
was
Dre.
Dre. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
I was looking for the appropriate time to drop a forgot about Dre reference or something, but
Oh,
I don't know if he's doing better or not, so I don't want to
hopefully.
I don't want to jinx anything. But
No, I heard it was pretty bad, though. I think, he lost, usage of half his body or something.
jeez.
Oof.
Oh, need to
Yeah.
check in on that. And he's going through a divorce apparently, and accusations of abuse and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Damn.
Dang, man.
But anyways,
Call 50
So-
Cent. Get him in there.
we talked about Elon Musk earlier. We got some more Elon Musk news in our tech news segment, I believe. So we should transition into that.
Tech
Which I'm
news
super
time.
Super excited to talk about. This whole thing is just, I love it.
Nice.
Nice. All right, let's do it then. Let's do this. Take me there. Show me the stars, good sir. Take me
Yeah,
to
so I
Mars.
will let you guys know. I don't know a ton about SpaceX and rockets. If you haven't been able to figure it out yet, I'm definitely not a rocket scientist, but
What?
I'm excited that Clifton has a lot of enthusiasm for SpaceX. But let me just break down the facts here. SpaceX was set to launch its first rideshare mission today, and I had to look up what is a rideshare mission. Turns out that they are essentially whoring out their rockets to other companies. Allowing other companies to, I guess, put their satellites on
How dare
SpaceX's
you
rockets.
talk about SpaceX like that?
And helping and sending them to the great unknown, into space, well, into Earth's orbit at least. So this rocket, Falcon 9, was set to have 133 satellites, which is a new record, previously held by the Indian Space Research Organization at 104 satellites. And if you're thinking about how do they fit so many satellites? Some of these satellites
What?
apparently are the size of iPads. And
Really?
which is just kind of mind blowing to me.
That's nuts. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So on this specific rocket, there are Internet of Things or IoT satellites from a company called Swarm, communication satellites from Kepler, 10 SpaceX Starlink satellites, and 48 Earth imaging satellites from Planet Labs.
Bro,
Unfortunately,
there's
it was. What?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I just say, unfortunately, it was scrubbed for today because of weather conditions, but it's scheduled for tomorrow, which is likely also in the past for the folks listening. So hopefully it went well.
Dude, there's just a bunch of shit just floating in our atmosphere.
Pretty much.
What the fuck?
Well,
dude?
and if you go on their website too, you have the option of where you want to put your item into orbit.
Whoa.
They've got the low Earth orbits. They have the sun synchronous orbits, and then they have the polar orbits. So depending on what business you're doing, they're appealing to everybody, because most a lot of geolocation satellites will use low Earth orbits, so they're appealing to that audience of manufacturers, and it's crazy, and it's $1 million per 200 kilograms.
Whoa.
Wow.
Which is not
That's not cheap.
a lot of
It's-
weight.
How many pounds is that?
200 kilograms? That's like me.
That's
No,
440
that's
pounds.
more than me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not me, but
Still, that's not a lot of weight in the grand scheme of like satellites.
no.
Right. If I'm thinking like what I picture a satellite as, I'm probably thinking a couple 1,000 pounds maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
guys,
well, that's
let's
what I'm
start
saying.
saving up.
for some of the smaller ones, even still. But
Yeah.
it's a 200 kilogram minimum.
I'm gonna get
Oh,
a ginger
geez.
in the beard satellite up there ASAP.
So 500 grand minimum, essentially. That's insane.
And they're guaranteeing launch dates though. Like even if you pre-order your date, if you miss it or if it's delayed, they have promised to launch every 4 months and get you on the next one. So
Wow.
like if you're trying to put something up into orbit, and due to whatever manufacturing delay that you have on your end or whatever it is, as long as you pay that down payment, they say that they'll get it up there with a 10% rebooking fee.
What's the benefit of you putting something in orbit? Like what do you get out of putting a satellite up there?
I know it was probably, when was that whole debacle with Apple Maps going on? Maybe like 10 years ago? I can't remember exactly how long ago it was. I know that Apple was being laughed at by Google because Google had more satellites. So this is before the Google Maps cars.
Yeah.
And Apple Maps was like garbage. So
Yeah.
I know that they launched quite a few satellites into space. So I guess,
Mhm.
Maybe just like a synchronization of
Just
Yeah,
better
whatever.
GPS location, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
if you look at, I mean, SpaceX alone, we covered it in an earlier episode. They want to launch like some thousands of satellites for their Starlink program,
Yeah,
which
to
essentially is
Cover
bringing,
the planet.
yeah, which is bringing internet to places that can't otherwise get internet, like through cable. But there's some visual. I'm looking at it on my screen right here. Some visualizations out there of space debris, space junk, whatever you want to call it, which are essentially satellites or dead satellites, like satellites that are no longer in operations. They don't come back down. They just continue to float around, right? And I think some of them, I was listening to a podcast, it was probably Joe Rogan talking to somebody really smart about how some of them come down purposefully back to Earth and burn up in the atmosphere. Like you can imagine if these satellites are an iPad size and they come back through our atmosphere, they could just essentially burn up. Which is better than having them floating out there, because you got to think the space station is out there as well, and all this stuff is orbiting around with it. So, yeah, I think actually, Joe Rogan actually did have an astronomer on one of his recent episodes, and he was talking about how they're building some new telescopes and how all of that stuff out there in orbit makes it hard for them to actually see things out into, beyond our galaxy, because these things are essentially blocking their telescopes.
Oh, dang. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
So,
didn't even think about that.
but
Yeah,
apparently SpaceX is working with astronomers and trying to figure out like how there's like different coating technologies they can put on these satellites so they're not as reflective to sunlight and don't interfere with the telescopes, but still.
Wonder if you just like had some like super powerful laser beam. You could just like work for the telescope companies, like covert ops, and just fucking pew pew.
Oh,
Fuck your
dude.
satellite. Pew, pew.
I think the last person who suggested the idea was the engineer who built the Death Star. I'm pretty certain. Well, we should. Elon Musk should get on this like spatial like cleanup trend and just like go around and clean up all this junk.
Right?
Yeah.
He's over here trying to be environmentally friendly, but he's throwing up junk all over the place.
Right.
In the atmosphere.
It's like the plant a tree thing. Like if you're gonna send up more stuff, you got to bring some of it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got an idea. We send a giant magnet into space,
Let's do
and
this.
it just sucks all the satellites onto it, and then we just blow it up with a space nuke.
Can it just be like a magnetized, like, big boy rocket?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
From what movie is that?
Austin
Is that
Powers.
Austin Powers? Yeah, it looks like a giant wiener flying.
What's the? For some reason I have in my mind like a movie from the '80s with like a giant floating lady with a vacuum. Is that Spaceballs?
That sounds
I
familiar.
don't know
yeah.
that one.
I can't picture that.
I was
It's in my
thinking
head.
Rosie from the Jetsons when you said that, but I don't think that's it.
All of the above.
Yeah. So, but yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. So we'll follow up with that for sure and see what all
Yeah.
that space stuff's about.
Yeah. Everybody petition Elon Musk to to clean up shit.
Yep.
So let's move on. I got a little bit of VR news. You know how I like to sprinkle in my virtual reality AR news when I can. So here we go. This is very interesting, I think. I'm very excited about this one. So UNCONTAINED VR, it's a business, puts immersive escape rooms inside shipping containers. Dude, do you know you can buy like a shipping container for like $2,000?
Like
Really?
dirt cheap.
Yeah, they're like dirt fucking cheap. You can buy one and somebody will just like, you can pay someone to deliver it to you. They can just like put it in your backyard and you got a shipping container.
Sweet.
Isn't that crazy?
I've been wondering how much it would cost to get a shipping container.
We literally almost, yeah, I bet you have. We literally almost bought a plat of land and just bought like a bunch of shipping containers and built like a shipping container home.
I was just about to say, circling back to being old. I've been watching tiny houses. On
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah,
And there's
yeah.
people that build mansions out of these things.
Right?
That's
And
crazy.
it only costs them like $100,000.
And they look awesome.
Oh my god! And they're bigger than any house I'll ever own.
Yeah, yep. All right, hold on. Back on topic here. So, uncontained VR, they're putting them in shipping containers. So, it's
no.
this LBE thing, location-based entertainment. It's basically a free roam VR arcade built into shipping containers. The setup accommodates up to 6 players while providing environmental haptic feedback. You know, I love my haptics via blasts of heat and cold motion floors and physical object interactions. Maybe they'll even have smell-o-vision. So it's not like a lot of room either. It's about 5 parking lots or 5 parking spots, and it's easy to transport. A lot of worry around this. There was another company that came out like at the beginning of 2020 and failed miserably because of COVID, right? You can't really pull this off in COVID, but we're still in COVID, so they had to design theirs to be COVID friendly. So they got disinfecting UV lights, minimal touch points with antimicrobial surfaces, disposable VR headset masks, high air recirculation, and air scrubbing filtration. I just need that like in my house. Just hook it up.
Air scrubbing.
Yeah.
Scrub the air. All right.
Scrub that air. Yeah, so we actually have a bunch of air. We have like you have your air filter on your AC unit, but we also have like HEPA filters. We have 2 different HEPA
Purifiers.
filters. Yeah, air purifiers basically that are helping. But yeah, so this company's based out of Vancouver. It's built by Immersive Tech is like the head company. And they launched it this summer. Their public listing is planned for Q2 2021. So I guess we'll start seeing them. Huh?
Does that mean they're gonna go public, like IPO or what?
Yeah. Public IPO.
Wow.
So you can donate to them, or not donate, but you can own them, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be in America. It says Vancouver, Canada. So like, I'm hoping that they come down this way, or like somebody else does something like this. You know, I know there's other stuff like this around, but I've never seen something like portable and it's like a traveling circus kind of deal, you know?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Clifton, do you have VR?
I did for a while. I had the HTC Vive when it first came out, and then I sold it and I got the PSVR because I had a much smaller space to put it in at the time. And with the PSVR, you don't need the beacons. Like, I had to have wall-mounted beacons, so you actually need a pretty large space. And I've since sold that, and I'm really waiting for the next best thing, I guess. I had
HP Reverb.
Yeah, that's looking very, very, very promising. I had the... Oh, man, I can't think of
The Quest?
The Quest, yeah, for a while. And I really like that, too. I'm just kind of jumping around because I'm one of those like early adopters where I like to try everything kind of when it comes out new. But I was going to say I went to a VR place in Florida not too long ago, and I had like the best VR / worst VR experience.
Oh no!
Where it was, I think the system was called Virtuix. I've seen it. They were the brand of systems that they used were popular because it was in the Ready Player One movie.
Cool.
It's actually a system the haptic system they use in the movie is actually a real system you can use in real life.
Nice.
And it was one of those running pads where you you kind of run or whatever. And there was we were playing the game Mirror's Edge. I don't know if anyone's ever familiar with that game. It's like a parkour game.
So awesome.
And I remember falling in the game, but the environment that we were in had like fans that were blowing on you constantly. And so I remember like the feeling of like falling in VR off of a skyscraper and then like air pushing against me. I lost it. I completely. I was so immersed that I genuinely like. I like ripped my headset off and like had to like come to terms with where I was and who I am as a person, and that everything's okay. And it like they turned all the lights on and it like had to pause everything for everybody. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But it was
shit, dude.
It was like the best experience because it was the first time like I've ever been truly like I forgot that there's an outside world. Like it was wonderful. Like I used to play Beat Saber and some shoot 'em up games and stuff, but I was always aware of like, well, I don't want to hit my wall. I know my wall's right over here or whatever. Yeah. But I completely I was in it.
Did you poop yourself?
I did not. I managed to not poop myself that time.
Just a little VR times. Just a little pee. That's all.
That sounds terrifying, dude. I could definitely. I mean, I've never even used any good VR. Like, I'm waiting for the chance that I get to come visit or have Reese come down and bring your headset. Because I've never experienced real VR, which kind of sucks. But I think it's probably a hurdle everyone has to get over. But like having a headset on, I had a what's the thing that Samsung made for a while?
Let's not even the cardboard VR.
Yeah, well, they had like the Samsung branded, like Oculus branded thing. Yeah, you put your phone
Trash.
in. Yeah, so I had that for. Well, actually, I think I still do. Well, I think I eventually threw it away because I couldn't sell it. I might want to buy it, but and just having like my vision completely blocked out, like I just like feel weird. Like I feel like something's gonna mess with me, like in the real world or something. Like it's just a weird feeling.
Yeah,
I don't particularly like. But
I have a question for Reese. You have VR system, is what I gather, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the Rift S.
How many hours in VR chat do you have?
I've never played VR chat.
Man,
that's the one thing. Like
I have like 1,200 hours.
I'm not ready to dive in, and
I don't even know what this is.
Mess with all of those fuckers.
VR chat is.
It is VR. Like that is the most played VR thing there is.
Make an avatar. I mean, whatever avatar you want. My favorite one is Super Saiyan Goku. I run around as Super Saiyan Goku. And,
nice.
That's cool.
But but there's different lobbies and like rooms and games and stuff you can play. But it's just people in VR that just live in VR and do whatever you want to do. It's like Second Life.
Like like the show me the way. That thing. That's VR. That was VR chat.
I don't know what that is.
You haven't seen that one?
Ugandan Knuckles?
Yeah. Knuckles.
That sounds familiar. That sounds
familiar.
Spit
on my queen.
That sounds familiar. I think that was like viral for a minute, maybe, and I think I remember.
It was viral for a long time. Surprisingly.
Yeah. Not so much anymore. I guess it was like a year or two ago, but.
Well, this experience with the shipping container sounds pretty cool, and
I would definitely.
I mean, I definitely can understand why this starts in Canada. It's like cold as balls. They have nothing else to do, so why not go put yourself in a heated shipping container in VR? That sounds great.
Oh man!
So I have some Canadian teammates. So I'm just making fun.
You're just like really throwing the shade tonight.
Shayna fixed me like 2 different like rum drinks before the podcast, and now I have this beer too. So I'm just like feeling extra spicy. But
nice.
No, this actually does sound really cool though. I agree with what you're saying. Like the traveling aspect of it sounds really cool. But I'd actually like to see this as like a permanent thing too. Like these, I love. Have you guys ever done escape rooms?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Yeah,
escape rooms are awesome. They're a lot of fun. So to do them in VR, where you have one empty blank canvas essentially, even if it is not shipping containers, it's just a brick and mortar place, and you can essentially remap the room from group to group. That'd be super cool. Right. Instead of like you're constricted to, we've got 3 different rooms, and as a consumer, when you've gone there and you've figured out, you've escaped all 3 of those rooms, it's not cool for you anymore. You're not going to come back.
Right.
But if they're like, hey, every month or every week we've got new experiences, that'd be kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's probably a challenge for them to create new experiences because like all of the development that needs to go into creating the rooms, like the realistic ones where you can walk in, like somebody could just
come up with something and in 24 hours you got a new room. You don't
Yeah.
have to develop anything. You just got to put stuff around, I guess. So yeah, I see there's like
Cool.
a barrier there, but yeah, I'd love to see more like permanent establishments with this type of technology. I'm pretty sure there are. I just don't know where they are.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I
Yeah.
think that's a pretty good transition, talking about VR and gaming and stuff, into our final segment, the gaming grind.
Yay! Video games.
Yes. What
I'm excited about this topic.
what we will be
Close to
indulging in. Yeah, Clifton. So for the folks out there that don't know Clifton, obviously you used to be a streamer. You're a huge video gamer. I'm curious, have you bought Cyberpunk yet?
Yeah, and I want to talk a lot about what we have on the board today because I'm very upset with Project Red.
All right, dude.
Like-
I think you should take it away then, because Reese and I have not played it. So this is big news, I know, but like we're not experiencing it firsthand.
So
Yeah.
they, like I see in the notes here that we have, they are definitely facing 2, if not more, as I was reading earlier, maybe more class action lawsuits over the quality and release of the game, which they have taken a very odd defensive stance on of saying we were forced by our shareholders and our players to release the game early. Like, we wanted to keep delaying it. We delayed it twice, and we felt a lot of pressure to pull the trigger and release it before it was ready, which I think is a bold statement to make.
Bullshit.
As a publisher and as a developer, like, releasing something that you know is broken because somebody says release it, that doesn't seem,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I know that their release on the new gen consoles was absolutely
Hot garbage.
atrocious. And my saving grace for them is PC releases. I'm obviously a huge PC player. The only console I really play is Switch. And typically I go by the breath of, yeah, it probably sucks, but it's gonna be great on PC because everything is great on PC. And it's been hot poo poo. It's
Oh wow. Even
like-
on PC.
frame rate wise, and graphically for me, it's fine. But there are some very like game breaking bugs. I haven't had any of the memory leak issues that anyone's had. I've had a few crashes. I've never had trouble getting into the game, but we were just talking about how immersion works and how I think that's pretty important. And there's a core mechanic of the game where you basically there's like a puck installed inside of everyone, and you can remove the puck, and it's like a whole memory thing. And I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but basically throughout the game you can remove those from people and trade them, and kind of go around with them and whatnot. And the stopping point for me was probably like 3 hours into the game. I was riding in a car, and I went to remove the puck of someone in front of me, and I just pulled out a submachine gun out of the back of their head. And I was like, I'm gonna quit the game, and I'm just gonna wait a little while because it's just nuts.
Man,
That's crazy.
seems like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. I think that them saying that it was like the shareholders and the players pushing them saying it was the players, that's complete bullshit. Yeah, of course your players are going to want to play the game, but they want to play a finished game. They don't want to play a broken game.
Yeah.
Now, from the shareholders' perspective, I think it's more or less like the major shareholders, the people
Right.
that are actually making the decisions that own you, essentially. They're like, hey, release the game so that we can get our money, right? So that we can get paid, and move on and everything. And you saw how like the stock dropped significantly.
Yeah, to nothing. To pennies.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's just upsetting because CJ Project Red is such a great. They have The Witcher on their side, which is still, to a lot of people, one of the greatest, franchises out there.
Yeah.
So this was well waited for and long waited for, and I don't know, it was just super disappointing.
I feel like anything that has like a large lead up to it and tons of hype behind it. Name one game that has had that and done successfully on release. Like, I can't really think of any.
The one that comes to mind most recent that followed suit of this would be Death Stranding. Did you guys get excited for Death Stranding?
No, I
didn't do
I've
that.
seen
Mine
it on
was
Steam, I
mine was
think.
Fallout 76, but that was 2 years ago.
Fallout 76 was. Yeah, I would take that too. Yeah. Yeah, Death Stranding was supposed to be this amazing game, and it was just a walking simulator for 80 hours of content.
Right, that's the guy with the baby on his front.
Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot remember his name to save my life, but it's the producer of like the Metal Gear Solid games.
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree. I remember seeing some flack about that. I mean, I guess there was that one The Last of Us came out, and that one was a success.
Right.
So I guess that kind of is like the opposite of what I'm saying here. But like, and then you think about a game like, for instance, like Apex Legends, where like literally there was zero build up. It just got released.
It just came out. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like still this huge fucking game that everybody loves. And it was just like a gift. Like, I don't think people even cared if there was bugs because it was free and,
right.
You didn't have time to think about it, So, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like all of this marketing stuff is, it's defeating.
Well, they've got this new trend where early access is, like, to me, just the worst. It should be the exception, not the norm, in my opinion, and it's definitely like a normality that we live in as gamers now is, hey, we got an unfinished game, we're out of money.
Yep.
We ran out of time. Here's a beta. Play it. Find everything that's broken for us because we just had to lay off half of our bug testers.
Yep.
And debug team, and you let us know what's broken, and we'll fix it, and we'll release it eventually.
Yeah.
They did that with PUBG was the first one that comes to my mind, like immediately. But ever since then, I mean, games are just, that's exactly.
Well, isn't it Escape from Tarkov? Isn't that still in beta?
It's still in beta. It's been in beta for 4 years. I've played it all 4 years.
Yeah,
I play it every single wipe. It's still not even close to being ready. I don't know when they're ever going to release the game.
I mean, they could release it and call it done now, technically.
Yeah, exactly.
The reality is nothing is ever perfect. I mean,
right.
And we live in a time now where it doesn't have to be. Like back in the day, all of us started on like, really old consoles. You didn't buy a game that wasn't finished. And even if it was finished, it's a disc. There's no internet. So if there's something wrong with it, there's just something wrong with it and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes. Those were Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly. So now we've gotten to this expectation where it's kind of annoying, but you just expect that to happen. You expect that every time you spend $60 on, even if it's a disc from the store, you come home, you put it in, you have to download the day one patch every time.
Yeah.
That's just, and that's just the way it is. It's super annoying, but
I think there's incentive for AAA developers that release fully released, polished games to increase the price. Unfortunate as that is to say, they could probably get away with saying, hey, listen, this fucking game's done and it's awesome. You got to pay $100 for it, though.
Yeah, but see, why it shouldn't be like that. I get what you're saying, and that's a great idea for on the company and like shareholder side. But like, why is that the case? If anything, the people that release crappy unfinished games should say, hey, here's our crappy unfinished game. It's $20.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, it should be free, technically. They can't charge. It's like, what they're doing is they're charging you to be their bug tester. When it should just be, this is free, come test it for us, and then we're going to wipe everything, and then that's when you guys have to pay it. But they're going to lose out on half the people that are like, oh, well, you know what? I got my $15 of movie entertainment from this game already.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what happens. That's everyone that I've ever played Escape from Tarkov with. No one plays it anymore. They're like, I have 400 hours log in that game. I don't need any more. I'm done.
Yeah.
Dude, I just hated getting shot like out of nowhere after 15 minutes of running around with all this loot.
Oh yeah, Tarkov giveth and Tarkov taketh.
I'm pretty sure I've said that exact same sentence to you about Fallout 76.
Probably. Yeah.
Nuclear winter, but
Fallout 76 still, to this day, made by a AAA developer with tons of money, now owned by Microsoft. I don't know if that's official yet or not, but fucking tons of bugs. It's like, I don't know how they get away with it, but I still love it, so whatever.
Never played it, but I definitely watch a lot of streamers that do play it. I love Fallout. Fallout 74 was good. Did you see that they're making a new Vegas 2, potentially?
Yes, I'm happy that Obsidian and Bethesda are owned by Microsoft jointly now, so that'll be
All the money.
awesome. And I don't know if you saw, but New Vegas actually just had a mod come out called The Frontier. I don't know if you've never played New Vegas before, or if you have. Certainly if you have, go play it again, download that mod. It looks fucking insane. It's basically like World War II, but with the Brotherhood versus the Raiders. And it looks fucking awesome. You should go watch it. That is awesome. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. I guess one more thing I wanted to say before you guys probably want to move on is I don't. Oh, what was I looking at here? I had a note that I wrote. I guess for me, like with CD Projekt Red, is I liked. I mean, I had followed them on Twitter, and I've been keeping up with that game, Cyberpunk 2077 for forever, and I liked that they were always engaging with the community. They were always talking to the community. They were always updating us and sharing memes and, adding people back, like talking to the gamers that were excited for the game. And then they're under a microscope for releasing this Garbo product. And then the first thing they do is throw everyone right under the bus. It just didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, that sucks. They should have let the players out of that comment.
I agree.
I can yes. definitely sympathize with the shareholders and all that stuff, like working in corporate America and being involved with like development of products and things like that are tied to revenue. There's an immense amount of pressure coming from the investment companies, the high level owners of companies, the board members, things like that. Dude, they're looking at the bottom line. They don't give a shit what else is happening. It's right. Like if that money's not coming in, then there's an issue. And they will rush along development to get things done and out the door so that somebody can start making money on it. So I could definitely sympathize with that, but definitely, like, I agree with you 100%, man. Don't throw the players under the bus for that.
Right.
You know, and I think you were spot on again with what you said about the marketing thing too. It's like there's a fine line between like you're the one responsible for building the hype around the game. Like, if you weren't ready for it, don't start talking about it. Like, don't talk about it until you're ready to talk about it. Because then you just get people hyped up and excited, and then they have to wait, and then they get pissed off.
Well, that also brings me into the whole other dilemma I have with gaming now is pre-ordering.
Yeah.
That's why they build that hype up, because they want that money to finish a game that's not finished yet. Like, hey, we don't know if this game's going to do well. Should we keep throwing money at it? I don't know. Let's let people pre-order it and see how excited they get. Oh, now we have a ton of money.
Yep.
Or, now we don't have enough money to finish it, but we have all these pre-orders. Just release it anyway. Like, it's a weird, as a player, I want to say, like, put me in one of those positions and, like, I would run a company that wouldn't do that. But like AJ was saying, like, I don't have, multi-million-dollar men in suits in front of me in a board meeting going, if you don't get this out, you owe us X amount of dollars or, whatever. Yeah. So it's hard to, you don't know how you'd react in that situation, but
get it done or you're gone, dude.
Yeah. It's just frustrating.
It's lost its like that like really good home feel to it. Like a lot of these developers, like I remember when Diablo first came out, like you had this hard, and even like when Halo came out, like the development teams behind them were just like, they were just having fun trying to figure out how to do shit. They were like, I don't really care about money. Like we're just enjoying this, so you don't get that when you get into the corporate world, when you go to a Bethesda or like a Microsoft, right? Or an EA. Everybody knows about EA. They're fucking money hungry pigs. But, so sometimes it's a relief when I go and, look at some like indie games. Like there's a game coming out called Fractured that's made by a small development team that just looks like they're putting a lot of time and effort in, and it's all crowdfunded. So like, I don't know how you feel about crowdfunding, but that
I think crowdfunding is great.
It can go bad as well, though. If it goes to scumbags, because like what was that one game like War Z, or was it War Z? Yeah, because there was DayZ and then there was War Z. I don't know if you remember this, but like it was a money grab, and then that same developer went on to release like 3 other games that were all money grabs. So they're out there.
It was I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah.
And you got to like watch out for that stuff, because there's some people that'll do crowdfunding and then they just take the money and run, just like Bless Online. I don't know if you guys are hip to that one.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started.
yeah. So it's like a really sketchy world, but sometimes you find them and, you know, they're legit, they're crowdfunded, and you can tell that they're just putting a lot of time and effort into their game because it's like a passion project. So
it's like similar, or on the crowdfunding topic, there was have you guys ever played Stardew Valley?
Yes.
No, I know of it, but I've never played it.
Yeah, it's one guy made that game, and
That's
he released
awesome.
it. He somehow got it greenlit on Steam, and he like put out on Twitter and then created his own website where he was, you know, could keep up a dev blog, and was like, look guys, like I do this in my garage after work, like I don't have the servers to keep up with the capacity, so I'm buying more servers from Steam, and I just need time to figure out what I'm doing. He goes, I love you guys. And so someone started a crowdfunding for him and raised him like $4 million
Whoa.
Fuck,
to
man.
you know, lease an office and hire a team. And so now I think he has like 5 or 6 people working for him. But yeah, it was just, that game when it came out was a full game that I played it, the 1.0 patch, when it came out, probably like a day or two after it launched. It was a full game and it was perfect. It was one guy. Like, granted, you know, it's a pixelated whatever, you know, it's pretty basic, but like, if one person,
but the fundamentals
Right.
of that game are like solid, right?
It's like
interesting.
he took it back to the, I'm going to release a full game that I've tested and I know it works, and then as bugs come out, if people discover stuff that I didn't, then we'll fix it and go from there. But
it's an iterative approach.
Wound up with a huge success. So
Yep. Yeah. Rimworld, I don't know if you've seen that one, but that's another one with a small dev team, Tiny and Sylvester, that it was like a passion project, and it's pretty huge now. Like, it's one of the more played games on Steam, and it's like single player, which is crazy.
Right, yeah.
All right, well, I got one more bit of news, and I'm just gonna run through this real quick because we've hit our hour and then some. So here's some more controversy. Okay, Microsoft reverses course on Xbox Live price increase. So a week ago or so, Xbox came out and said, "Hey, we're going to increase the yearly subscription fee from $60 to $120." And everybody was just throwing up the bird, telling you guys, "Screw you! I'm going to go play PlayStation now." You know, whatever it was. So then Xbox came out with a statement. They said, "Hey, we messed up today, and you were right to let us know. Connecting and playing with friends is a vital part of gaming, and we failed to meet the expectations of players who count on it every day. As a result, we have decided not to change Xbox Live Gold pricing." Now, guys, I'm going to tell you here in a second when I'm done with this that I think this was like a scheme. Anyway, so in addition, the statement announced that reversing years of precedent access to free play games would no longer require an active subscription, right? So if it's free to play normally, then you shouldn't have to pay for it through a subscription. So that's changing. So that's good. And then finally they gave some numbers, and I think this was a marketing scheme, basically just to give out their numbers and get people to come to Xbox Live and let them know, hey, you're going to get free games as well. You don't even have to subscribe. You get free games. You might as well come look at us so that you can get some free games. And while you're here, it's going to be $10 for 1 month, $25 for 3, $40 for 6, and $60 for 12. Come on down. Stop on by. I'm pretty sure this was like one of those just like publicity stunts. What do you think?
You think so?
I do. I really do.
I mean, it's definitely possible, but I actually don't know if they used to offer. I don't remember them ever offering like 1 month, 3 month, 6 month options. I thought it was always just annual. I've always paid for Xbox Gold for a long time, and I'm pretty close to canceling it right now because I haven't touched my Xbox since I built the PC.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so
boom.
I have no really reason. I mean, your Gold, your Microsoft or Xbox Live subscription, I think you can still get some benefits from that if you download games from Xbox on your PC. But yeah, I don't really know. I think I could see where you're coming from on that. I don't know why they would ever try to double the cost of it. That's kind of absurd.
Exactly.
I mean, it's been $60 for like since I was in college, high school even.
Yeah, I
so
think this is
Yeah.
If this was legit, then I think it would have been like we're going to go from 60 to 70.
Yeah,
Right.
true. Yeah,
Agreed.
and so in that regard, maybe you're right. I mean, like the $120 guaranteed to spark outrage.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
take the Netflix approach. Like Netflix has how many ever like hundreds of millions of users. So when they raise your rate $3 per month or whatever, they just made, 300 million extra dollars per year. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
So take the same approach, because I'm sure there's millions and millions of Xbox Live Gold subscribers. Up it by $2 a year. Like that's an expected rate increase.
Yeah.
Right.
The way these models work, it's not like the price per subscriber that really matters. It's just having the subscriber. You want to have the customer.
Yeah.
And so, I think what they did here was just said something ridiculous just to get attention. And I think it worked because I'm talking about it.
Right, yeah. If it was legit, let's just assume that it was 100% legit and they reversed it, right? Like it wasn't a marketing scheme. Then at that point, good on them for saying, hey, yeah, we care about you as a gamer, and part of being a gamer is being able to play with your friends. And, half of our subscriber base is probably between the ages of 12 and 20, probably can't afford $120 a year. So, whoops, our bad.
But
But also the whole, but hey, we got all this other stuff too. It's hard to give them credit where credit may not be due. So,
But think about it, like going into this, right? Before they said that, don't you think that somebody would have said, "Hey, this is probably going to cause a lot of flack"? Like,
I mean, I'm sure their legal team was probably, if they went into it, had to have been like, okay, you guys are gonna get roasted on every social media platform.
yeah. My last point is that, like, before they do like E3 or PAX or stuff like that, there's like a leak, right? But it's always like it's turned into like their planned leaks now, like 3 or 4 days ahead of time to build hype.
Right.
So I think it's just one of those, it's another strategy that AJ, I don't know if you remember, and I frankly don't remember what it was. Like a couple months ago, there was something else like this where I called it and I was like, I think this was...
It was something UFC related.
A little backdoor trickery here going on.
I think it was the John Jones thing where he chased the guy out with a shotgun.
That might have been it.
Or no,
I think it was before that.
Conor donating money.
Oh yeah, it was. It was
because
Conor
was
because of him exposing himself.
Yeah, pulling his thing out in front of somebody. Apparently, allegedly, we don't really know if that actually happened. But then he went on to donate a bunch of money to some cause or whatever.
So I guess
it might have been the Dustin Poirier thing. So we're like, I don't know.
It is.
Yeah, and the John Jones thing.
This is all because he showed some lady his schwang.
Yeah, which hopefully he didn't actually do that. But yeah, this is crazy, man. And if you do the math, obviously they're offering $10 for 1 month. Obviously, 12 times 10, $120 a year. So you would expect some sort of a bulk discount, but $60 is kind of a steal in that regard. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, when you consider that PlayStation Network or PlayStation Live, or whatever it was called, was free for a long, long time. Online gaming was free for a long time through PlayStation. And only in the recent years has it started to cost money. Like, they can't afford to make some kind of crazy move like this. And that's why I don't really understand the statement about they're no longer requiring Xbox Live Gold to access free-to-play games. Because that's a giant, like, a draw to paying for Xbox Live Gold is because you're going to get free games every month. But now you're not requiring that, so now you have less of an incentive to sign up. So
I think that was more along the lines of
damage control.
No, like a subscription based, or not like a. I mean, I don't know. I don't know really. Yeah, I guess damage control would probably be.
If they're free, you can just go get them somewhere else anyway. So
yeah, but man, to your point, Reese, I could definitely see this being like ahead of some of these.
You swayed me.
Yeah, ahead of some of these development conferences or like conferences, like, because I really don't remember there ever being a monthly option. I thought it was always you had to pay per year. So like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but if this is a new payment options to pay per month, then this definitely could be like, all right, well, yeah, you're right. Okay, $60 it is. But if you want to pay monthly, you can do that, $10 a month. And then, hey, by the end of the year, $120, dog.
Right.
I think that's it, dude. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Good call, Reese.
Speaking of Xbox Live Gold, have you guys played Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
I've watched
AJ.
Reese stream Sea of Thieves. I've never played it
Okay,
myself.
when are we all three going to play and stream that?
Oh,
Because
dude, that'd be so fun.
that is an Xbox just like gem that no one talks about. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite games of all time. Like,
And I can never find people to play with it.
oh yeah, okay. Well, just hit me up in Discord whenever this call's over.
I watched Reese play.
We'll
it,
set something up.
and you looked like you knew what you're doing. Like you got a couple of kills while I was watching, raiding somebody's ship.
Oh, bro,
Okay.
I'm good.
You're,
man.
I need someone else to help me PvP with, so that's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know about like all the other stuff going on in the game, but I can hit somebody with a blunderbuss.
AJ, we gotta get you on there, man.
I know,
it's
man.
A lot. It's so much fun. But anyway, that's just like a hidden Xbox Live Gold thing that I got, and I was like, this game's amazing.
Yeah,
Nice.
I agree. Yep, and it's like
Awesome.
legit because it's like sailing a real ship.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's beautiful. Like we were like
Oh,
the not cell shaded, but visually it's like a cartoony game,
Mhm.
Yeah.
very cartoonish. But it looks amazing, and the water is amazing, and everything just
Wouldn't that
all
be
the
awesome in
environment-
VR?
oh my god.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Just don't fall off any ships with like wind blowing in your face, or else.
Oh my god, or like the sharks in the water.
The sharks,
Yeah.
Be like screaming for my life. Ah!
Are you okay in there? Yeah, sorry, I was just getting eaten by sharks.
I'm fine now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I guess that's it, man. What an awesome show. I thank you so much, Clifton. This has been great.
Well, I appreciate you guys for having me on again, and I'm glad I got to share the big 5-0 with you guys.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
man. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
we really appreciate you coming on and sharing your
problem.
perspective. Yeah, I guess that's basically it, man. So I guess we should wrap it up.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead, guys. Listeners out there, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, subscribe on your favorite podcast player if you really want to help us grow. Well, you got to share this episode with a friend. That's it.
Yes, absolutely. And like we said at the beginning, man, make sure you check us out on Spotify, or we're basically on every podcast app you could imagine. So if you find one we're not on, make sure you let us know because we want to be there. And come say hi. Instagram, Twitter, we're pretty active on both platforms. Would love to know what you guys out there are drinking. If you got any recommendations on any non-alcoholic beers, any thoughts on the topics we've covered, and let us know what you think about the UFC 257 event that's taking place right now that we're going to go tune into immediately after hanging up. But until then, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yes, we will. Peace.
See ya.
Later.